All right, today I wanted to touch on the topic of tracking food or counting your calories. This can be a painful thing for some people. A lot of times people will ask, clients will ask, do I need to track all of my food? Do I need to count every single calorie? Do I need to do these things? And it might be good to do for a little while just to get an idea of how much food you're supposed to be eating and these types of things. But here's what I almost always recommend that people start with. Okay, focus on eating balanced plates of food. Okay, a fruit or vegetable every time you eat. So fill up half your plate with fruit or with veggies, or have a serving of fruit, or have a little bit of fruit and veggies. But pretty much every time you eat a meal from this point forward in your life, have a fruit or vegetable. And if you miss one, you get right back on track with the next meal. Fill up half your plate with veggies, have a little bit of fruit, or have a combination of the two. Fruit or vegetable, a good protein. So fish, chicken, turkey, steak, something like that. A good eggs, another one, or some kind of dairy protein. Have a portion of dairy, okay? Usually the size of your fist is a good starting place. Fill up a quarter of your plate of starch, one ingredient carbohydrates, things like brown rice, oatmeal, sweet potato, quinoa, beans. One ingredient carbohydrates, okay? And then have a little bit of healthy fat. Just a little, healthy fats have a lot of calories per serving. Have a little bit of healthy fat. Olive oil, nuts, seeds, avocado, natural peanut butter, these types of things. So half your plate with veggies, quarter of your plate with protein, quarter of your plate with one ingredient carbohydrates, a little bit of healthy fat, just drizzle it on there, a few nuts or avocado, whatever it may be. Every time you eat a meal, have a healthy plate of food that looks like that, making sure you're making water your main beverage. And then beyond that, the one thing I want you to count is you could count what we call the free category. In our nutrition plan that we use, we have what we call a free category, which is junk food, basically anything that's not the healthiest food. So anything that is automatically junk food, maybe not the healthiest, would go into the free category. And so what we tell you is this: focus on eating your balanced plates of food every single meal, and then the only thing that you need to track is your free category. Now, how much free category? Typically for women, it's about 300 calories per day is what we give you as kind of an allotment. Usually for men, it's typically around 400 calories per day in the ballpark. If you want to get a little bit more detailed, you can go to our website, foleyhealthandfitness.com. We've got a free course there called Total Body Refresh. We actually walk you through the process of figuring out what your calorie levels are there. Or you can check out my book, Cracking Heaven's Code. We've got the program in there of how to go through all this as well. But we track the free category is the first thing that we do, and try to stay within the boundary. That way, if you don't eat any junk food, you don't have anything to count, okay? You just focus on eating your balanced plates of food. This is usually a good starting place for most people. Focus on just getting the free category within the boundaries. If we had to add a second thing on to begin to count, it would typically be the healthy fats, because sometimes people overdo it with the peanut butters or the too many nuts or these types of things. Those would be the two areas that I would typically recommend you count first. You don't have to count everything that you're putting in your mouth, which can be a little bit tedious. But those would be typically where I recommend that you start. So focus on tracking the free calories first, and it's a much easier process of tracking that. It's a good place to start with your nutrition.